Welcome to Nourishing Maine. I'm Mary Kate Rennie.
And I'm Marge Kilkelly. And we are joined today by Tim Hobbs. And I met Tim years ago when he was the Deputy Director of the Maine Potato Board. And I do have to say that Tim and I have been on TV once before. I went up to Aroostook County and did the potato picker special. I had to be on set at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. So this is a little bit of, not payback. That would be the wrong word.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it fits.
Yeah, no, it's great. I appreciate the invitation, so thank you for having me.
Well, it's wonderful to have a chance to talk about potatoes, because this is the time of year.
It is.
It is.
It is. Harvest is actually wrapping up. There's still some people up in Aroostook County that have a few acres in the ground. It's been a wet fall, so it's delayed it a bit.
So that'll push it back.
Yep.
Yep.
But most everybody is done.
How's the harvest amount going?
It's about an average yield this year. Last couple of years were record years as far as yield goes, and so when you have a normal year, it's like, it's a normal year. Yep.
And so, how many pounds is that?
Depends upon who you ask.
Ah.
It's like yield, and I don't know. This is like people don't know this, but you ask a potato farmer and you say, "What was your yield? What'd you get for yield this year?" About the same as last year. What'd you get last year? About the same as the year before. So it's like a mystery. I don't know why, but it's a mystery.
It's about farmers.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So probably 1.5, 1.8 billion pounds of potatoes.
So I just want to emphasize that 1.5 to 1.8 billion pounds of potatoes from the state of Maine.
It's a lot of potatoes.
It's a lot of potatoes.
From one county.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Or what are the other counties?
So potatoes are grown from Fort Kent to Freiburg
There.
to Kittery, and there's a fairly, probably 10% of the acres in Maine, 10% of the 53,000 acres that are grown in the state are grown in central part of the state, and then over in Freiburg.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's still just an amazing number.
Yeah, it
I know
is.
when
It
I
is.
saw
Yeah.
that number, I was like, billion?
Yeah. I think Maine is probably the 8th producer
Yep.
of fall potatoes in the state, in the country. So it's still a pretty significant industry. It's amazing how many people around the country, when you go and you visit, and we're from Maine, well, you have lobsters, and yeah, we have. But I was in potato industry, so when you say potatoes, they're like, they grow potatoes in Maine? But
So there you
we
go.
try to educate them.
We do, and that's what we're all about.
I know
thing to be
that.
proud
Awesome.
of.
Yeah.
Not only educating people about how wonderful the industry is, but also a really special product from Aroostook County that I was introduced to at the State House many years ago, and it's Aroostook County mashed potato salad. And your mom used to make that.
My mom used to. She still does. It's a. I thought it was normal, like mashed potato salad. Most places you go outside of Aroostook County, it's the potatoes.
Right, the potato
And
salad.
so you have a chunky potato salad, and it's reds, or they put fingerlings in, which you can do. But if you're simple, and you're going to mash it, and it's a completely different texture.
So which potatoes are these?
Those are all-purpose potatoes, chef's potatoes, from Bell's Farm, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So we buy local.
Excellent.
And these have been cooked, they've been peeled and cooked and chilled. So we're gonna put them in this wonderful flat-bottomed bowl in order to mash them.
So first step is getting these mashed. Look how beautiful they are already. So
And yet, when you're doing it, like on the cube stuff, on the cube salad, which we're not talking about, right?
We're not, no.
So you have to be careful that you don't overcook them, because they will disintegrate.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure enough.
That is
But
the
with
nice
the-
part about this, it's very forgiving.
It is
That's the
forgiving.
start.
That looks like a good start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you to work.
You're gonna have me mash?
There you
Excellent.
go.
I'll
Yeah,
do
show
it.
us how it's done.
All right. This is. So I never use. Some people will use like a food processor, whatever that is. That it.
Does that make them gummier than you want them?
Yeah, I don't like I don't like it that way because it's way too creamy. And
Oh.
this was mashed, but it's still going to have a little bit of body or texture. I use those words so it sounds like I know what I'm talking
You
about.
do know.
Yeah.
You brought this recipe. I can't wait.
There is no recipe.
Oh, really?
There's no written recipe as far as I know.
There you go.
Yep. So it's just.
Then you can do no wrong.
You can't.
And neither can we, Marge.
That's right. I love those
I
kinds
love
of things.
those kinds of recipes.
We like
Yes.
that sort of flexibility.
Yeah, it's good.
Now,
So should I start chopping a couple items?
Sure.
Okay.
Why don't you?
Want me scoot sideways?
I can
No.
we'll just share.
All right.
We'll share.
There we are. We're
I'll
good.
peel an onion.
All right.
I'll
And
get us
I'm
all
going to
trying.
get the celery started.
Celery.
So these look like similar ingredients to a potato salad.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
But it's the texture that's.
Yeah, it'll be a completely different texture. A lot of people, when they've never had it before, they think, wow, that's really different. And it really is, because most people think potato salad is what you can buy, pre-made or.
Right. Or
Yep.
you eat in July.
Yep, and then they see it. Now, I had a conversation with my wife when I was talking about what we were doing here today, and I had made a comment about my mother's potato salad being my favorite.
Yeah. Ooh.
And you guys know what happened. Yep. So, my wife's potato salad, they're both excellent. They're
They
equal.
must.
Well,
I'm
Yes.
sure they.
Since it's a technique, it's not a recipe,
that's right.
and so you prefer your wife's technique.
I do.
Clearly.
Yeah.
That's the way to save that one.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm used to seeing when Mom makes this is when it's all done, and you have it in your bowl, and usually she used to put it in this green Pyrex bowl, use the same bowl every time,
I love it.
and she would frost it. That's what I called it, but
Yeah.
she'd frost it with Miracle Whip.
Oh.
Like she uses Miracle Whip instead of mayonnaise in
Right.
the salad. Then when she's all done, she frosts it with Miracle Whip, quarters hard-boiled eggs, and puts a design
Oh,
around it and
nice.
peppers on top.
Ah, presentation.
Yeah, so it looks good.
A tradition.
Yep.
That's great.
And so, because there's no recipe, there really are lots of different things you could put in it. You could put, bacon chips in it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could put.
Do you ever?
Any.
So the Miracle Whip is certainly sweet. Do you put anything else,
So
like a
pe-
pickle?
You can put a
But that's similar to.
like a sweet relish.
Oh, yeah.
Just in a
That's
little
what I
bit
was
will go
thinking.
quite a ways, but
Yeah, it does.
It adds that little sweetness to it. If
Sure.
you use mayonnaise, a lot of people will use mayonnaise, and that's perfectly
Do you prefer
fine.
the sweeter or the
I do.
more? You do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like sugar.
We
I'm
share this.
big fan of the sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah. There.
So I'm sure the proportions are again completely up to you.
Yes, they
But
are.
how's this like? About a
That
cup, I
looks
think.
great.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
All right, and it goes. Well, it occurred to me that what you had talked about was actually grating the onion.
Right. So the secret is you don't ask people if they like onions. Because a lot of
Down a
people will say,
rabbit
"No,
hole.
I don't want onions, and don't put any onion in that." Okay, we won't. And they don't know that if you mince an onion, and you're going to get the juice, and you're going and
Yeah.
it kind of blends in, and they don't even realize they're having onion, but it really needs an onion.
All right.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So yum. What else we can? Bell pepper.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
I'll just put a.
Whatever you have, like that you like,
Because you could put a little bit of red pepper too for color.
Oh, red pepper would be pretty on that one.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I talked about the hard-boiled egg on top afterwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people will put hard-boiled eggs in like a egg salad sandwich type of
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
consistency when you cut it up, and blend that in as well.
Is there any ingredient that you don't like that people might add to this recipe or non-recipe?
I don't.
Like that just wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of things that don't go well with mashed potatoes.
Like, don't put carrots in it.
I was see now
that's
that's
interesting.
interesting because that's where I was kind of
Oh,
headed.
you were?
Well,
Oh,
because
go ahead and
celery.
put carrots in it.
No, not for my own time. But as far as the tradition goes,
Tradition, yeah, yeah.
because the the green pepper, celery, and
Yep.
carrots often go
Right.
together.
We're
I like that you answered so definitively. Don't put carrots in
yeah,
there.
don't put carrots are good.
That's what I was after.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we'll put a little bit of the chopped onion in, just because I already chopped it. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think I could put that through the grater without ruining my hands.
Are you
That
going to
would be
do the
bad.
honors of the miracle?
I'm
Whip?
gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna.
That's gonna
What are we
matter.
gonna swirl this
How
around
about?
with?
Oh, here's a bigger spoon to swirl,
All right.
and then here's your.
Where do you want to
Miracle
sit?
Whip.
That can go right over in the sink.
I got you.
Thank
Okey-dokey.
you.
And then finish up these peppers, and then
Okay, it smells like summer.
Does.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
This would be a fun thing to take to a potluck.
It would.
Because nobody would know what it was until they started.
They're going to be like,
why isn't your potato hot, you know?
yeah, especially if you frost the bowl with Miracle Whip and put the eggs on top, they're going to be like, what is under that? Well, that's, it's kind of fun.
That makes it the
Yep.
mashed potato salad. Okay, well, I'm going to go a little smaller. I want it to kind of match the...
The size of the celery?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same page here? All right.
We are.
We like being on the same page.
So, are there any spices that go in here?
Salt and pepper.
That's it?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Well, you can do anything you want. I was talking to my
I like the traditional.
my boss yesterday, and Diane, I'll say her name. I won't give her her whole name because I don't want to embarrass her too much. But she said, what would be really good in potato salad is that is it?
Balsamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that
And
earlier.
it adds a little tang to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said so.
Sweet
So you can
and
do.
tangy.
Yeah, you can do if that's
I
not
bet
really a
that little
spice, but
acid
it's.
or that tang would be good
Yep.
in this.
Yep.
Although the peppers and the celery add to that. All right.
All right.
It smells good already.
So I'm going to look at you when I put this in there, and you can go.
Are you going flop?
Yeah. And you can say, stop. That's too much. Because
I'm not going to.
Because once we get to a certain point, like you can't undo too much.
Right.
Okay.
It's all you.
So I put, whoops.
We like the
mess up your
oopsies.
jar.
Don't worry about
All right. Let me, we'll start with a little bit because you can always add more. You can't take it out.
It'd be hard to take it out.
It would.
It would be really hard.
I like green peppers in there.
It does. It's pretty.
And you could put the, what is it, yellow and orange? They,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And it makes a pretty good looking thing.
If you put green peppers and red peppers, it would make a pretty Christmas dish.
It would. And like say, you can add eggs or you can not add eggs. We're not going to do eggs today, but
But they would be delicious in
They
here.
would, yeah.
Very summery.
Yeah.
Look at the texture of that delicious salad.
I think
so
it
if
maybe
you wanna-
needs a little bit
I think
more.
it needs a little bit more
I think
too.
it does actually. I really do.
I think
I do. Yeah, that. Yeah.
that hopefully that wasn't too much.
There's quite a few potatoes in there.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's cooking about right.
Part of the thing about cooking that always is interesting to me is it's almost less about measuring and, I don't know, focus on details than it is about having done it and looking at it and going, yep, that looks
That
like
looks
the way
right.
it's supposed to be.
I know it.
And,
And you know when it's not.
And you
like,
know when
well,
it's
just to your
not.
point, like
That's
you knew
right.
it wasn't enough. We did not measure that Miracle Whip.
No, but that's about.
But see,
that's
you
that's
eyeballed
pretty
it.
good.
So there's
and
some pepper.
excellent. I love pepper.
I do too.
I like cracked pepper.
I know. Look at that. Beautiful. Dusting.
Yeah,
Oh, mustard. We talked about mustard
we did.
too.
Yep, we'll put a little of that in there.
And this might be another ingredient where you don't tell people it's in there. Oh, you might want to squirt it, yeah? I don't think it. Oh, yeah.
It has a better effect, doesn't it?
Let's be careful.
I'm gonna put some salt
Yeah,
in
put
there.
some salt in.
There you go.
That reminded me of another famous chef that she used to put in. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mention any names.
There you
Like
go.
that.
All right.
And that'll change the color a
That'll
little bit
do it.
again. Oh, that pepper smells good.
It does.
Oh.
And, you know, it's,
Good.
I do think mustard will talk about tang, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and some people have their preferences with mustard as well. And it didn't change the color too much
Not
at all.
too much,
If you
no.
check that out. So,
And that's
an
a-
important ingredient.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Dijon mustard. You can use yellow mustard,
Sure.
Dijon mustard, any kind
Sure.
of mustard that you want to use. But yeah.
And we usually have several kinds of mustard sitting around at any point.
So take the,
Let me get a couple of dishes, and
Oh.
we are going to give this a try,
Give it a
and then
try.
see if we need to adjust it. at
There
all.
we go.
So we didn't talk about caribou russets yet, did we?
Oh, we didn't.
So for people who don't know, caribou russet is a variety of potato that was designed. I got to be careful when I use that term because it makes people think GMO, and it's not that at all.
Right. Good point.
But it's still the same. You know, it's still a plan. You know, when that variety was developed, there was an end goal in mind, and the end goal was to have a potato variety that would do well for baking, making fries, boiling,
Oh, all
everything.
those-
Kind of an all-purpose type of potato.
Boy.
But that the primary focus was processing, so for French fry. And So the University of Maine took several years. Greg Porter
Yep.
was worked there and was a he developed potato varieties, and it was a potato breeder, and it was all done traditional breeding, crosses and looking and picking plants, and it's pretty fascinating that way just by itself,
And you can't underestimate how important all those texture, flavor, mouthfeel matter, well, to a French fry or to mashed potatoes. I mean, it matters how, too waxy or what have you.
So-
Cheers.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Very good.
Yep. If I don't say so myself.
I mean, it really does matter. Or it changes the whole thing.
The green pepper is really nice in it.
It is.
I like that.
Well, thank you.
Very good. You're welcome.
That's delicious.
A whole new way to use mashed potato, and a way to surprise friends when you go to a picnic or you go to a potluck
Yeah.
is to frost it, which I love.
It is, yeah.
And for Christmas, you could frost it and use green pepper strips and red pepper strips and all sorts of things on it, and people would be surprised that was on the savory table.
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, potato salad always makes me think of summertime.
It does.
Just
But
tastes like
cold
summer.
mashed potatoes, like you normally, because the only time I have cold mashed potatoes is like day after Thanksgiving, where you fry them up with the stuffing and everything else.
Yeah.
But having a salad with cold mashed potatoes is really refreshing. It's delicious.
It is delicious. So today's about potato surprises. So we've done mashed potato salad, which I think a lot of people haven't had, and now we're going to do mashed potato sundaes. And I bet if they haven't had salad, they probably haven't had sundaes. What do you think?
I suspect you are 100% correct.
Me too, because I've had neither.
Sounds a little weird.
It does sound a little
Yeah.
weird. We like weird.
It sounds fun.
We like flexibility. We like good taste.
Yep.
We're ready to go.
But trust us, it's good. Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Here we go.
Thanks.
Welcome to the Joe Way. Today we're going to do the squash. Everybody does squash differently. Some people break them open and peel them with a knife. Other people try to peel them with a potato peeler. I myself prefer using an apple corer. You put it on the top of the squash, press it in until you get to the seed cavity. Pull it out, pop it off of your apple corer, cut the little seeds off. I also take a knife and I stick in there and kind of shake up the seeds. I have to take a second here because I have to get the maple syrup. The magic of TV. Maple syrup, you pour right in the hole. Have your oven set at 350. Again, stick your knife in that, gets it down in there, mixed up real good. Take your plug, put it back in the hole, and you're ready to go. We take this and we put it in the oven. We wait for it to get done, and then we take it out of the oven, and you'll see the difference an hour makes. At this point, all you need is a spoon and a knife. This is the plug that we put in, and then all you gotta do is just cut it open. Scoop out your seeds. And the fun part, for me anyway, then you take it, turn it upside down over your bowl, put it in, squeeze it, and it self-peels itself. From there, you can add butter or more maple syrup. You can also mash it like potatoes, and away you go. It comes out excellent. And it cooks all the way through, mashes easily, very palpable. And that's the Joe way.
So we are going to make potato sundaes.
Excellent.
Yes.
And what is the first thing we need for potato sundaes?
Mashed potatoes.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you to work.
All right.
There you
Ooh,
go.
Still
Look at
warm.
those. I know. Nice and hot potatoes.
Yay.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Go for it.
But as I'm mashing, can we throw a butter in there?
Of
so it'll
course.
start melting?
Of course, good thought.
You want to put the whole thing in?
Well, you know, we can.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Might swell. It's
right.
only a stick,
All
right?
It's
yeah.
yeah.
I can cut it and force it melt even faster. How about
There you
that?
go. All right.
Yes.
And I'll get going here.
All right.
I don't want to gum up the works. Nice
Yeah.
choice of potatoes.
Aren't those lovely?
They are.
Yes, chef potatoes are great.
They're
and
cooked perfectly, Marge.
and it's I mean, it's nice to have something when you're buying a big bag of potatoes, especially. I think it's good to have multi-purpose ones so that regardless of what you're doing, they're going to work. I think a lot of people don't realize that we talked about apples in a show, and that there are apples that you eat
That's
primarily,
right.
and there are apples for cooking. And in the case of potatoes, it's the same thing. There are some that cook better or differently.
That's right.
Some bake well, some
And they're bred for those characteristics. Yep. So like if you were to take a potato that was intended for chipping, a Frito-Lay variety, and you were to put that in a pot and put it on the stove, you would not like the result because it's going to come apart. It's
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And so it's
And it's
designed
drier,
for,
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's designed for that
To
end
absorb the
use.
grease.
Yep.
For the, well,
I think I'm designed
I
to
think-
absorb the grease sometimes.
not that I'm a connoisseur, or
Yeah,
anything,
right.
but I don't know my potatoes like you do, but boy, it's fascinating to learn why they're bred the way they are.
Yep.
And
Well, and like Marge said, there's all kinds of different uses, and you want to make sure you're buying the potato for the use that
look
you
at
intend.
these perfect mashed potatoes.
Beautiful.
So compared to the salad, the mashed potato salad, this is definitely creamier.
They're gonna be
and
creamier.
smoother.
Yep.
And they're almost shiny. They're so pretty.
I know. Could we
How
put a whole
about some Greek yogurt in there?
excellent?
Yeah, cream it up.
Some people will put cream, or heavy cream. They'll put sour cream, but yogurt is something that people are starting to do, and it's a really,
Is it
really good way.
Is it another one of those eyeball the amounts?
yeah.
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 You can't
Just
overdo it.
winger.
Okay. We won't do the whole thing, but we'll get it nice and. One more. Let's see.
Because we're getting.
Oh, it could use it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be all right.
Cream it.
Yum.
There. Done. Sorry, it's all
That's
over
all
your
right.
fingers.
I see that.
We're not cooking
I'd stick it
unless
in
we're
my
making
mouth,
a
but
mess. I know, right?
I'm on camera now.
That's
I'm
right.
not doing that.
You
that
know,
looks great.
the thing about potato chips, I remember visiting a farm in Etna, and they were talking about having the trucks leave at like 3 o'clock in the morning to
Right.
go to Connecticut.
Yep.
And by that afternoon, the potato chips were on their way back to Maine shelves.
In a bag. Yep.
Wow.
I just find that so
Me
fascinating.
too.
So
Amazing.
I think.
I'm gonna get that. There's a little clump of.
No.
But that
You want a little
consistency is
milk
good.
in there? Or?
I don't know. What
I
do you
think
think?
not.
Well, I think that. Let's see how it scoops. Are we gonna start building our
I think we
Sundaes?
can. How about some salt and pepper?
Yeah, salt and
Yeah,
pepper
salt and
definitely.
pepper.
I'll do the salt. Pepper.
Papa.
I just wanted to
This
do the
pepper,
fun
this
part.
salt's pink.
It is. It's Himalayan salt.
Is that like those lamps that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Same
what that is.
stuff.
It's got.
Different use. Oh, there you go.
Or is it supposed
Now
to
they'll
be
be
left?
lucky.
I don't know where it's supposed
I
to be.
don't
going.
either.
The goats like it too. The goats have salt blocks hanging out in their stall that
Oh.
are Himalayan salt. Yes. So
You-
I have no idea.
Your goats are well taken care of.
They are.
And they're
They
chatty.
like-
On the way in this morning, I put the window down, and if you stop, they talk to you. You drive to the next one, you stop, they talk to me. So it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Nice goats.
They are nice goats. Most of them are cashmere goats,
Like,
as in cashmere sweaters.
wow,
That's where cashmere comes from.
I did not know that.
Most people don't.
No. So where do you store? Here's a tip for people.
Okay.
I often have people say I store my potatoes in the refrigerator. That's do not do that because it'll turn the sugars. It ruins them. Do not put them in any place where there's light. Like you buy a bag of potato, it has a vent on it to keep them. And whenever you store them upside down so the light won't turn. They'll sunburn. They'll turn green.
Okay.
And then
That's
keep
called
them someplace
sunburn?
cool. It is called sunburn.
I did not
Yep.
know that.
Yep.
Because
And-
I have gotten potatoes in a bag
Right.
where some of them, I thought they were young.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like they weren't ready yet.
So you need to store them someplace where they don't get they call it light struck, and it gets them sunburn, turns them green. In someplace cool.
Yes.
And then they should go quite a while actually. And if you're growing your own, don't wash them before you store them. Just store them with all the material on, the dirt on them, because once you wash that, it starts the aging process.
Fair enough.
Yep. So.
Yeah, and they last a long time, or they,
They will.
can. That's
They will.
so.
Yep.
That's such good news, or such good info.
Oh, she got the ice cream scoop.
Let the professionals
Genius.
make our.
We'll let Marge.
You do the first
scooping.
scoop, and then we'll start.
I love scooping.
Plus, it's. Then
So
we can
we
build
have
our own.
gorgeous potato.
Nice.
How long does it take to boil a potato?
I don't know. Until a fork goes into it, kind of easily, but not so that it disintegrates. It's like the recipe that's not written. You kind of just do it by experience, I guess.
Yeah.
You'll know when they're done.
Same here. I stick a knife in it,
Yeah.
and if the knife goes all the way through,
You
they're
don't
ready
want
to
them
roll.
hard, but you don't want them because there's like a sweet spot there that once they go beyond, then they're good for
it's all
paste.
she wrote.
Yeah.
Should I take these off so that we
Sure.
can start building our?
So
Sundaes?
we are going to build Sundaes, and we can move these wonderful.
Yeah. So look at the blank palette.
Oh yeah.
What do we
is
have here,
that?
Marge?
So this is a cheeseburger sauce,
This is homemade chili.
goat chili,
Marge's homemade goat chili, sour cream,
of course.
of course, salsa, and I'm going to chop up some green onion for confetti on top.
There you
Yes. And how about we start building, and then we can see what they look like when they're all done.
So one of the reasons we wanted to do this is it seemed that as we're getting into holiday season, this is the perfect dinner to have if you're having company.
That's right.
If you've got little kids and you've got older folks and everybody wants something different, rather than trying to figure out how to put that on a plate, let everybody have their bowl, and then they can put on it what they want, and they can still wander around and chat with everybody, and it's wonderful.
And like you said about, don't let folks know if there's onions in the,
that's right.
in the mashed potato salad. In this case, kids will, they can, scoop their nose. I don't like that.
Right.
Well, this way, they can pick their own, and you also know how much food they're getting. So it's a great idea for a busy
And
holiday
it doesn't
dinner.
require a giant table for everybody to
doesn't.
sit at either, so it's wonderful.
All right,
I'm going to try this. This is
I'm going to go with. There you go. I'm going to go with salsa because the color contrast is fabulous.
and you can put some on either side.
Well, of course.
Ooh.
And if you do this with kids,
Swap with you?
Yeah.
All right.
if you do this with kids, they can actually, create their own masterpiece and, name it. Like, Marge's Matterhorn, or I don't know. I mean, you can make a game out of it because they really are pretty.
And then you have to put sour cream on the top.
Yeah, you do.
All right. Sour cream on the top.
How'd I get ahead of you?
I don't know.
I'm doing a dollop. It slid, but. And then here's my confetti.
Oh yeah, I'm way more serious about sour cream.
It is so
I think
beautiful.
you and I are going to the same school.
Yeah. Sour
This
cream with
smells
cream.
so good.
You know,
The
all
creams.
good.
Yes.
And then how about
well, let's.
cherry on top?
Yeah, let's do it. Are you almost
Oh,
ready?
it's here.
You can do the honors for yours. I'll take the.
So people can put whatever. I mean, we talked about broccoli. I know I've seen people do broccoli
that.
before.
Yeah.
Bacon. Chopped
Bacon.
up bacon is really popular.
Again, that confetti on the top.
Yep.
Yes, and of course you could do it vegetarian. To your point, a cheese sauce, broccoli. That whole taco bar idea or baked potato idea. But mashed
some
potatoes.
spoons.
All right.
Mashed potatoes at the base. A few green onions, my friend.
Yes, please. Thank you, ma'am.
What a great idea. Another recipe or non-recipe that I've never heard of. So, cheers.
Cheers to Maine potatoes.
To Maine
Absolutely.
potatoes.
It's so good.
Tastes just like I thought it would.
So
That's good.
Well, Tim, it's been great to meet you.
Well,
and
it's
thank
been
you so
wonderful.
much for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I was curious when Marge first emailed me. I'm like, this is new. So I went and checked you out and said, ooh, I can't believe she asked me. This is going to be fun. So thank you. I appreciate it.
So we love your Maine potato apron,
Yes.
but we also want to make sure that you have a Nourishing Maine apron
Oh, well, thank you.
to take home
Thank you.
with you. And
That's excellent.
yeah, everyone who's here who brings us wonderful food gets a Nourishing Maine apron.
Well, I thank you very
So
much.
there you go.
So thank you for allowing me and taking the risk of having me on your show. I appreciate that.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much for joining us.
See you next time on Nourishing Maine.